Yo, what up, CCF? It is Pastor Rich here with y'all, and I'm thankful for many things. But among them, I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for our staff. I'm thankful for our leadership. Because in my absence, these last several weeks, month and a half, while my family takes some rest and just responds and reacts and recovers from what the last several months have looked like for us, there have been a few of you that have stepped in and shown up to really care for the church well, take care of the operations of the church while we've been out. So before I give y'all an update, I wanted to show some love to a few of you. And I want to first start off by showing tons of love and giving a huge shout out to the Jenkins family. Isaiah and Shatara, Pastor Zay and Shatara. In the few months that Isaiah has officially been with us as pastor, he's kind of had to step into the fire. He assumed his role as the pastor of the church, or as a pastor of the church, in the midst of a pandemic, in the midst of a really difficult loss for our church community, and also as his boss needed to take a leave of absence for emotional, mental reasons. And so, Isaiah, man, I'm so thankful for you. You have been an incredible leader, an incredible pastor to the church. I know I'm not the only one that feels this way. The staff feels this way. The church feels this way. You've been shutting it down with these sermons. Your team in worship has been shutting it down. And I'm just super grateful. And Shatara, so much love for you, because I know that while you're not officially a staff member of this church, our family certainly knows the value and the weight that a pastor's wife carries as she supports her husband, loves him, and serves the church in a variety of ways. So, man, thank you to both of y'all. Y'all have been incredible. To our staff, Jesse, Roberta, and Steven, y'all have been incredible. Jesse, if you didn't know, is our ministry coordinator. If you didn't know that, where have you been? But Jesse has been our ministry coordinator for some time, and she's been overseeing all of our leaders and ministries and the functions of the ministry in the life of our church. In my absence, she's kind of just stepped it up a notch and been very loving and caring. Her oversight has been incredible of our ministries, and I'm super thankful for you, Jesse. Roberta, who is our executive administrator, she's just been making sure that all things logistics are running well, catching up with email, making sure that phone calls are being made, the necessary ones. So thank you, Roberta, so much for always being a reliable friend and worker and servant to this church. And then, of course, Stephen, who's our financial officer, making sure that your giving is being accounted for, that you're staying up to date with financials, and that he makes himself available for any questions you may have during this season of pandemic, and as we meet virtually. So thank you to all of you. You've been incredible, honestly, and our family sometimes doesn't have the words to thank you enough. So we wanted to make sure that we say that here for you guys. But our leaders, there have been a few, all of you really, all of our leaders have been key in making sure that we not only survive but thrive during this season. But I want to highlight just a few of you, because I know in this season your role has kind of had to step up just a little bit. And I want to start off with Lupe. Lupe as our CG coordinator. He's been doing a phenomenal job making sure that our virtual CGs are still going on, that you still have an opportunity to stay in community as best as possible during this pandemic while staying safe. So Lupe, thank you so much, man. We love you and we're grateful for the work. Victoria, man, you just been killing it. Our kids just received not too long ago their self-care packages with masks and antibacterial and tissue, and some really fun things for them to engage with. Man, I'm so proud of you. I remember just a little over 2 years ago when we met and you had this vision and we sat down, and here it is coming to life in the midst of a crisis. So Victoria, thank you so much for all the things that you've been able to do. Ray Spears, who oversees our media and your team, I know while I'm not on social media and I haven't been the last several months, I know that the output you guys are doing for social media is blessing a ton of people. And I get to see your work on Sundays. So Ray, thank you so much for making sure that our virtual experience is what it is, and that our social engagement experience is what it is. We're super grateful. You guys help the mission of our church carry through the airwaves of social media and the internet. So thank y'all so much. And then Jenny, thank you, Jenny Rodriguez, who does all that she can to make sure that the Sunday experience is what it is, that you're engaged, that you have opportunities to be in community on Sunday, remaining engaged not only with the word, with the worship and the chat. Man, super, super grateful. Thank you all so much for the work that you've been doing. I'm so glad. And then lastly, I want to say thank you to the church. I have been receiving a ton of messages, text messages, phone calls, voice notes, and I've not gotten to all of them. In fact, I've not gotten to most of them. But I promise you, those messages are reaching me. Your support, not only of the church and of our leaders. I hope that you're showing that support to the leaders that are there now carrying the church, but your support even of our family, loving us, caring for us, has been incredible. Keep sending those messages. They really do fill us with great joy. We might not get to all of them. We might not get to some of them ever, but I promise you that they are giving us life. So thank y'all so much for that. An update. Well, since you last received an email from Anna, things didn't get better quickly. We didn't think that it would continue to linger. But since that email, I've been in the ER a few more times related to my anxiety attacks. I've had a few CT scans done, which is where they run you through a machine just to make sure what's going on inside. I've had a CT scan done for my head. I've had a CT scan done for my abdomen. And then most recently, I visited the ENT, which is the ear, nose, and throat doctor, all because I was feeling discomfort both in my stomach, kind of discomfort and pain in my head and in my throat. But the good news is, praise God, all those reports came back clear. Nothing in my stomach, upper lungs area, nothing in my throat area, and everything in my head seems to be clear. As Anna mentioned, my high blood pressure, my hypertension has always, for the last 10 years, been a concern through dietary restrictions, exercise. These last 10 years, I've been able to keep that at bay. Or rather, I've been able to keep that under control. But since everything happened just over 7-8 weeks ago, I've been on medication for my blood pressure, and in my last general doctor's visit, my blood pressure has been stabilized. Thank the Lord for some good medicine and good physician care. I feel like I'm at a place where I feel much better physically. As I cough, much better physically. But it does say that a lot of the things that I had been facing in the last several weeks are connected to my anxiety, mental and emotional health, which y'all know I've been preaching till my face was blue for the last 2 years, really pressing in on that. A few things I've realized in these last few weeks and a few things that I think God is teaching me. I think that as a leader, I underestimated the impact of trying to lead a church through a pandemic, through a health crisis. I think because the last several years, I've kind of just put my head down and tried to do the work that was in front of me and try to do it as faithfully as possible and as loving as possible. Pandemic came and I knew it was a big deal, but I knew I also had to just keep working, making sure that the church was taken care of, that our vision was continuing to grow and thrive. But I underestimated the impact of what it meant to lead through a pandemic, all while we were trying to hire some full-time help, full-time pastoral help. I think I also underestimated the impact of some of the difficulties that we saw as a community, some of the impact of the loss of our dear sister, Alalise, being in proximity to the Martinez family, who I deeply love. Being able to shepherd them through that, I think mounted on top of the pressures of leading through a pandemic. And I think my body was trying to tell me something, and I think God was trying to use my body to tell me something. And so here we are, halfway through September. I'm so grateful that our leadership was able to give me the time through August, through August, to take a time of rest. But if I'm honest, August was more about reacting. Things were happening in our family. Our kids were confused and afraid. Anna was trying to be strong to navigate and lead the family, which she did an incredible job at and has always done an incredible job. But I think August was really about reacting to all that was happening. And so just before August ended, we sat with the leadership, Pastor Zay, and we asked that we would also have all of September. Now this time to more recover and replenish from all the things that have been happening. So that's what we've been in. This video came a little late. I wish I could have gotten to you earlier, but honestly, I just been relaxing, disconnecting. But here we are 2 weeks into September. I feel physically much better than I did initially when all of this started to happen. Mentally and emotionally, I feel stable. I feel like God has been doing some equipping in me as to how to deal with my anxieties. And I'm taking the rest of this month to do some more recovery and replenishing. So what does this mean? October 1st is a day that I am tentatively going to be returning. I say tentatively because there have been just some conversations with Pastor Isaiah about what it looks like to come on, but at a limited capacity, so as to not do too much. I don't want to come back if I'm not 100%. I think it wouldn't be helpful to you. It wouldn't be helpful to me, certainly, and my family. But October 1st is my tentative return day. But I will assure you my return will be kind of in phases. And I will come back at a limited capacity. More details to come on that. But I won't belabor you with all the details to that. There's still some of the stuff that we're working out. But CCF, we miss you. We love you. And we will be seeing you soon. I hope you guys are doing well, staying safe, and building community, listening to God through each other and in your times of silence and solitude. Love you guys. See you soon. Peace.